Well, let's see if she'll record now. A couple of times this morning she failed, but here I am anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, my message to all of you today, but specifically I want to address those of you at the bottom of the totem pole, you poor, broke souls, you, and then I want to talk to those at the top and everybody around the world. Uh, we always say that governments have the position to be able to make policy that affect the people of a nation and its association with one another and other nations across the globe. That responsibility is big people, the big government, the somebodies. But for some strange reason, we've always listened to that, and the systems of the world have always been messed up. We have here in America, and I'm sure other places in the West, we talk about God a lot. We talk about the Bible. We talk about Jesus and what Jesus represented. Even that, for however long it was, didn't stop taking people's land, didn't stop slavery. But it was what's happening. In fact, when they try to pick up and act like they had a little compassion and try to say they were going to eliminate slavery, but instituted Jim Crow instead. Let's say you had situations where I remember down south where I was living at, you had white toilets and you had black toilets. You had white water fountains and you had black water fountains. And can you imagine that? Yes, yes, you can, because that kind of stuff is the reason we have all the problems that we're experiencing here in America today, and the same reason we're experiencing those problems across the world. But check this, ladies and gentlemen. Just the other day, or with that last night or this morning, I heard some white guy on TV. You know his name. I don't want even know want to know his name, but he was saying things what how other people should be treated, and that black people should all be locked up in jail, and that white people should live as if in paradise. Now that's today, along with all the problems that we have. Government shut down. You sit there and watch leaders who's supposed to be representing you come on, get on television and lie like it's nothing, nothing. And yet this is a Sunday morning, and you're going to get up and go to a church where somebody's going to tell you about Jesus. And they're going to tell you about a whole bunch of stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, they're not telling you what's important, because I'm always asking, Father, tell me, because I spent my life trying to make a difference. I've been in the same position that other people are in. I don't have anything. I'm a suffering. So I know the pain. I experience the pain every day. So when you're giving me information about myself, it's information for everyone. So that's what I find myself, ladies and gentlemen. I got no problem with it. Then I say, but what can I tell the people? They say, well, you know what they're going to tell them in church today? They're going to still be talking about Abraham. They still going to be talking about Paul. They still going to be talking about some stuff that folks don't have no understanding about what happened yesterday, let alone way back then. And if God is speaking to somebody way back then, why can't God speak to somebody today? And God is speaking to somebody today. But why aren't they listening? Because, I don't know, nobody else will listen to them. They got some excuse. But the bottom line is God is speaking. And if there's going to be any changes in this anywhere in this world, it's going to come from the bottom up. It's going to come from the bottom up. So I want to direct this message to all of you crooks, most of you people in jail. I want to direct this message to you. I want to direct this message to thieves. I want to direct this message to prostitutes. I want to direct this message to pimps. I want to direct this message to preachers. I want to everybody that's hurting. If you're in the hospital, don't know how you're gonna pay a doctor bill. If you're on death row, well, take you off death row. Let's put you on the death bed, and they're gonna have to burn you up because you ain't got no money to pay for burial. I'm talking to every last one of you. I'm not talking to the top now. I'm talking to you, and I want you to listen. And I want you to listen. And I want you to listen well, because God wants you to know something that you don't know, and they are not telling you this in church. I know they're not telling you because I've been going to church over 70 some years and never heard it. But let me tell you something. Outside of God making this earth, and you know that because you know human beings didn't do it. All you poor folks know that. All the resources on this earth that are used to do everything that's been done, being done, and will be done came with this earth and is free from the same God. You know that. Every person living knows that. especially the poor. But let me tell you something, what God did. God put all you here. And when God put all you here, God knew what God was doing. These are the kind of people that God put here. Let me tell you what kind of people God put here. God put people here that would work, share, do things for one another, look after one another, protect one another, family. So when God put people on this earth, God put enough people to make sure that food would be available. He put enough people to make sure they might be called farmers and all kind of other things, but that's where the capacity. God made sure, even from then to this very day, that there would be enough people on this earth to make sure that no one would have to suffer a lack of housing. God already prepared that before the world was created, that there would always be enough people on earth to make sure that there would be access to housing. The same things that everything that's essential in life, education, healthcare, transportation, God always made sure that there'd be enough people on the earth to engage in these different parts, these different processes to make sure that it would be taken care of to the degree that it could be recognized as divine. God did that. That's what God did for you. That's what God did for you. Not only that, He used you to do it by choosing out of all the stuff that you can do on earth. I'm talking to the poor folks now. I'm talking to you who got nothing. He made sure that you could recognize what you love doing out of all of that. And once you chose what you love doing, He was going to solidify by giving you something the world couldn't give and the world can't take away. And that's joy, to let you know that's what you're hooked to. That's your purpose on earth. That's your purpose in life. That's your contribution to life. If you was playing a part in making housing, making food, anything, computers, whatever it was God's gift to the human race. There weren't no thieves. There were no crooks. There were no prostitutes. There was nobody in jail. You were satisfied. No war, no pain and suffering. And you were just living your life, heavenly, divine. And then somebody knocked on the door. Who that at the door? Who that at the door? Who that at the door? Check and see who that is at the door. You went to the door, you open the door and say, who is it? You open the door and say, deception. Deception? What you come here for? Because we got to let some of y'all in there don't know, but we come to tell you that some of you are more important than others. Yeah, some of you deserve more than others. I mean, talking right into heaven. Oh, look at you. You know you're superior to them. And they start talking that stuff, and you keep on talking, somebody listen. Next thing you know, deception is coming into heaven. Deception is getting into the divine part. Now, in order for deception to have any type of authority, it got to trick you. It got to take your power. And as it's taking your power, it's taking what you understand to be truth. Next thing you know, they are stealing all of the resources that you have been using free to do all the things that the human race need. Now these suckers have stole it, and you ain't free. They come up with a different system that you got to sell your soul to get so you can live. You see, that's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I'm telling you. Those guys coming on talking about deception, you better than others, they established governments. Those are the people that come over and steal your land. Those are the people that come over and trick you and make you slaves. Those are the people that come over with systems and they keep robbing you. Next thing you don't have anything. Next thing you know, you're trying to steal some food. Next thing you know, you're out there trying to hit somebody upside the head because you got so much anger because of the way you've been treated. So now they fit in the jails of you that they created. You weren't stealing. They created you, made you a thief. That's because you lost what you knew about God. You allowed them to grow. You allowed them to spread. You allowed for a lie to live today and took maybe a month to get rid of it. In a month of a lie, you can stop it that day a month later, but you got 29 or 30 days worth of power behind that lie that didn't go anywhere. So what I'm saying to you, people of poverty, you are the ones that's going to have to change the world. You see what they did? They went there and gave power to non-people. They said none, because they put that power in money. Now they say none people, corporations can give in money for who voting. Do anything to rob you. Do anything to rob you. And if you want to get out of it, you got to either try to go with God or you're gonna be a part of this crap. And I'm not talking about just necessarily agreeing with it, but going along with it is the same thing. Somebody will say, all I wanted to do was, hey, I had my food, my clothes, my house. I had all that stuff together when I was ignorant. Now you're tell me to know the truth. I don't. This ain't right. So what do I supposed to do? You honestly, you do what you are led to do. Some people will say, keep on keeping on, keep on riding that boat. Some people say, but well, I thank God, but if there's another way it's supposed to be done, I'm going to do it the other way. I mean, you might have to turn loose all that connection with the world. You might have to turn it loose. You might have to lose your house. If you fight for a new way of housing, of having houses, you might have to lose your car. If you're fighting for new ways for cars and people to be associated together, how you think it feels somebody that want to ride can't and don't have can't ain't got a ride, can't even get a ride, can't borrow a ride, and can't get nobody to take them in a place. And they're just sitting there in a stump. You know what I'm talking about. All of you guys out there who've been wishing you had a ride and don't have it. All you women out there who wish you could do something that old man was messing over you and now you stuck. You wouldn't have been stuck if you were always free. If every individual was under the protection of God. Somebody try to harm you, they ain't harming you, they making themselves look bad. Because you can't harm what God got protected. And see, God, when He created this world, He protected everybody from it. He gave you the rules, and if you followed the rules, couldn't nothing touch you. But anyway, I want you to know, don't expect nothing from the top down. Look at Donald Trump. Only thing he's trying to do is hurt you. Now, there are some that's not as bad as Donald Trump. They ain't trying to make you be perfected. They just trying to ride the top so they had to be a little bit better than others. And ain't nobody gonna give you nothing but God. And you got to claim it. Because God ain't gonna force it on you. Go give you choice. So you poor folks out there, you poor because you've been robbed. You ain't got nothing because you've been robbed. And you think God gonna give it to you if you stand up. If you stand up, then God will empower you. Other than that, don't expect nothing from these people out here running the world. They don't give a damn about you. They have accepted the world the way it is and been that way all your life, hasn't it? So if you don't bring the change ain't coming unless it's nature. All right, I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. I hope it wasn't wasted. And until the next, Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.